right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching TV47 Breakfast. Let's shift gears. Being a Thursday, we talk matters health, and this morning we are talking mental health. As you can see, the set is just women. Later on, men will also be taking up space and having a conversation of their own. But while we are asking, are we losing ourselves to social media? That is the question you're asking you online. You can contribute and be part of this conversation on X at TV47 Digital. Remember to tag me at Anna_Dida so that we can sample your feedback right here. TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube. And of course, our WhatsApp line is also active 24/7 0793 267 279. Talk to us, to me a voice note, a video. We'll be happy to sample them right here in the course of this show. I do have Hannah Wanjiku. Hannah is making it again to this show. Karibu sana. She's a businesswoman. The last time we were here, we were talking matters business. And just to mention, she sent me a very lovely dress. I put her to task to send me some pieces that, she sells on her page, and she did. Looks lovely. Nitawaonyesha. We do also have Nancy Noel. Nancy is a lecturer at KMTC. She's a trained mental health expert. And we do have Thitai Rosemary, and she's a psychology student. Thank you so much, ladies, for making time. You look lovely. We're talking social media. Sindio? Yeah. The question of the day is, are we losing ourselves to social media? What do you think, Hannah?
I can say yes. Basically because social media and mental health is a threat in most of the part of our lives. Like if we go to relationship, if we go to everything. Okay, for example, social media has a lot of pressure because the minute people start faking a certain lifestyle or going to a path that this is what is considered to be rich or what is considered to be good in social media, so you get the pressure to do it so that you can fit in. So there's a lot of pressure in mental health because, like, there's just somewhere that social media inataka kukuweka and maybe you can't afford it, or you have to change some of the things that you have to fit.
So senior pressure ni watu wanajiwekea. Because now if I post that I'm living large, if I post that maybe I'm somewhere, I'm outside the country, I'm in Zanzibar, somewhere just having fun, eating really good food, niko kwa Range Rover, and then you see it, and then you give yourself pressure. Sio ni shida ya kujitakia. What do you think about that?
Okay, kuna hiyo ya kujitakia, but if we go like celeb boys, see there is, okay, kuna wale wenye wanalipa tuseme na social media, na sasa kuna wale wenye wako na influence, lakini they are not, bado hajafika ile level ya monetization hiyo high. So but people like when influencer, so mbona hauna hiyo gari, mbona bado tuko nawe kwa matatu. Unaona, there is a way. Na pia kuna now on mental health, kwa social media there is a lot of nowadays bullying. Kuna venye ukienda kukua so proud of yourself, maybe uko na disability ama uko tu na kashida, watu wanakuingilia, you are like
actually social media kufanya mrembo, you will be bullied. Social media is just a place for sad people. If you do not have a thick skin, then of course you'll fall somewhere. Noel, what is your analysis of this conversation? Mental health. Do you think we're losing ourselves to social media now that you're a mental health expert?
Yes, I do. I can say because anything, as long as it's overdone, it gets to be poisonous. So social media is not an exception. The intention is so good, but then just when do we stop? That's where the problem is.
Yeah. When do we stop? Now that is the question. Tell us, when do we stop? When it gets poisonous now, at what point do we realize that now this is getting a bit poisonous for me?
At the point when we cannot reconnect with the inner us, because we have replaced that connection with the inner us, which is basically the mind, and we have sought satisfaction from the social media. And when we do that, then we just have lost it. We don't know when to stop. Yes, the moment you cannot reconnect with yourself, then you've lost it. Ideally, the only way that you can get control is to know when to start and just when to stop.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Interesting. Are you on social media?
Yes, I am.
I want to assess how, I want to see how you use your social media.
I am on social media.
Are you on all platforms? Am I you're on one and you're not using the other? Some of the WhatsApp is a social media in itself.
Yeah.
There are people who only use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
There are people who are not even on WhatsApp. They say they use emails and phone calls. So unatumia gani sana?
I am on social media on one, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because being a lecturer, I mean all the conversations, most of them are on WhatsApp. Email is not enough. And just because you're saying we're losing ourselves, it doesn't mean social media is bad. I'm on YouTube. Yes, I am a founder of a brand called Nutrition Nyumbani. And we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook.
So you're using it for something good?
Yes, choices, because, you know, the whole social media thing is a system.
Yeah.
And it can either make you desire something, or you can feel inadequate. So what are you choosing? If you choose inadequacy, it will come to you. Because mental health is a space where like poles attract. It's only in physics where like poles repel. But in real life, in mental health, like poles attract.
Mambo kwa ground ni different.
Yes.
What do you think, Thitai? Are we losing ourselves to social media?
To my perspective, not all people, because social media depends on how you use it. You can use it in the right way to help you, to make you grow, and you can also use it to get more depressed. I mean, as a psychology student, at times you get to problems and you're like, I can't talk to anyone. So I'll go to social media, maybe use Gemini or AI to work on myself. But again, when you check about depression, you go to social media, check on the celebrities, they're doing this, they're doing that, and then you get so much attached to what they're doing, then your mental health works bad. So I feel it depends on how you use your social media, the time you give to your social media platforms, and how you benefit from it.
You know, I don't quite understand the concept of pressure, that social media is giving people pressure, because I feel like if at all you feel pressured by whatever somebody else posts on social media, then hiyo ni shida unajitakia tu, because now how will somebody else stop their life to accommodate yours? You know, so when you talk about, you know, some use social media to get depressed, it doesn't quite sit well with me. Sababu mi naona, I will not stop posting my lifestyle because you feel when you see me, you're going to get pressured. So how do we go about that, Thitai?
So on your point, you can say you can't get depressed, but others do really get depressed.
Sasa how, kwa nini wanakuwa depressed?
Maybe their growth, their nurture is so different from others. So you find, I like good life, but I haven't found it. So when I check on what maybe my mates are doing, they're posting this, and I'm like, oh, so wengine wameendelea, mimi bado, you know, bado sijasonga. It brings about depression at some point.
Now, what is the solution to that? Because now if somebody will get depressed because of how somebody else is living on social media, because I know for sure there are people who are living better than all of us, and we see them online, but I don't think I've seen somebody and felt, huyu na yeye anaishi maisha poa sana kunishinda, so I get myself depressed because of that. So what is the solution to that? People who get depressed because others are living better lives than them.
The solution is self-awareness. Understanding where you came from. In terms of origin, not your parents. Where you came from. How did you arrive here? If you didn't make yourself, that means you're just like a mobile phone, only that you can breathe. So there are user manuals. It's only that the phones and other gadgets come with the physical user manuals. As human beings, we come with soft copy user manuals. So if we become aware of ourselves, reconnect with the inner, because the mind is the only place that talks to the inner us.
Yeah.
If we take time off and just be able to converse with ourselves and be able to know what are my strengths, how can I utilize them to my advantage? Because remember, those who are already online, utilizing them for their advantage, it's only that they're showing the best side of them.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it completely, because they found what is working for them.
Yeah.
So what is working for you? You know, I don't believe there are 8 wonders in the world. I believe everybody is a wonder. That's why the Bible says we are fearfully and wonderfully made. So wonder means it's so unique. It's good to start with social media to just ignite, make you desire something, but know when to stop. Because for a good dream, you don't dream throughout. For a good dream, you should know when to wake up. Go actualize that dream. How do you actualize it? You actualize best with your manufacturer. Who then is your manufacturer? What do you believe? If you believe that, then you will be able to know that life is basically 2 major components. Life is a race, life is a war. When it is a race, know when to run. What are the rules of this running? Because I mean, any running competition has rules. And then when it is time to fight, what is your fighting tool? Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is standing up for yourself. Once you develop all that, then find what is so good for you. That is what will make life good for you. You can now bring it to social media. Because who are you producing that goodness for? You need people.
Not
the world
for
is for
validation.
people. Not for validation. Because there is no other Noel. There is no other Odida. It's just you.
Yeah.
There's something you're doing only you can do. So why would we fight?
Interesting. We want to take some feedback and see what our viewers watching online are saying with regard to the conversation we are having. Mental health. Are we losing ourselves to social media? And Brian from Nairobi says, I think we're definitely losing ourselves. These days, people care more about posting than actually living the moments. You'll find someone at an event busy on their phone the whole time. Sharon from Nakuru says, social media has made us compare our lives too much. You see people traveling, living soft life, and you start feeling like you're behind in life. Yet it's not always real. Me, I'm blaming people who are giving themselves pressure. Kevin from Eldoret says, for me, it's about balance. Social media is not bad, but too much of it is dangerous. If you can't stay offline for a few hours, then it's a problem. Aisha from Mombasa says, people are faking happiness online. Someone is struggling but posting like life is perfect. It's affecting mental health because no one wants to be real anymore. All right, these are just some of your feedback, and we welcome you to continue being part of this conversation. TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube. On X at TV47 Digital. Be sure to tag me at @Ann_Dida. Once again, our WhatsApp line is 0793-267. Hannah, have you ever felt pressure online? What platform are you active in? Kwanza, tuanzie hapo.
TikTok.
Why TikTok? Mbona si Instagram? Mbona si Facebook? Why TikTok?
Okay. I usually, on my perspective, I find like TikTok ndo iko na a huge, like would have reached a high number of people. Yes, sorry for that. Yes, so I'm mostly active in TikTok. Okay, when I was in high school, I had the pressure. Ilikuwa inanipea the pressure, but over time, niliona tu, it's just a matter of mindset. You know, what you see, what you feed your mind, how you interpret it. So like ukiona mtu hapo ana live her life, her best life, itakupea pressure ama itakumotivate to continue pushing, ndio pia wewe ufike hapo. It's just a matter of mindset. So venye tu utaitake, unajua people will always be people at a post. Ni wewe utainterpret venye unataka iku affect personally.
Your interpretation of what I post is your business. So that's what they say. But for you as somebody who is doing business, I know for sure there are people who are also thrifting, selling very, very lovely clothes as well. Some are even cheaper than you.
True.
Do you feel the pressure to, to keep up? Sana sana kama unaona, if they're cheaper and they're selling very cute stuff and they're getting customers and they're thriving in their businesses, have you ever felt pressured?
There's the pressure, you want to know who is a plug, anatoa hizo nguo, and also to get a high number of people, like venye kama you find her where akipost nguo zake, there's a lot of engagement and a number of people wana comment, ama inafikia a large number, more audience, more viewers. So yes, there's that pressure. But you keep pushing, you know, ujui, okay, you keep pushing until your time comes.
Yeah.
That is, you keep clapping for others.
So you just clap and clap. Noel, I'd love to know a social media platform that, you know, you find quite interesting. Because umesema unatumia zote, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, on WhatsApp and all. Which is your favorite app and
YouTube.
why? Why?
YouTube, because...
Unapata pesa? YouTube?
No.
Yeah.
So that's where the mental health aspect comes in. What is your motivation? If it's money, you will do anything for it, including going all odds that can even leave you empty. But as a mental health enthusiast,
Yeah.
I would really consider, why am I doing this? I know there's something only we can do. The kind of nutrition I sell on Nutrition Nyumbani is not a kind that any other person would sell. So I don't feel the pressure. You got 1 million people, 1 million views, congratulations. Because I know that maybe it's your, according to the life calendar that you're in, it's your time to run. You understand the marathon. I probably am somewhere, maybe not yet there. It's okay, because I mean, we are different. I'm starting something that has not been seen in Kenya, in the world. The metrics I use in nutrition have not been seen. So why would I be comparing myself to anybody? Just be self-aware, be content that, you know, whoever you're comparing that life to is on a very different script.
Yeah.
And if you keep comparing, eventually you will be empty. But I know I don't want to live an empty life. I want to live a satisfied life. And yes, it's possible if we balance, because we need to take what we have to the people. That's why I don't dispute social media. But I say, just when do we stop?
Kitai, what is your favorite app platform?
I don't really have a favorite because I work on all.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But I use the apps to give myself motivation. Like if someone has gotten to a certain level, then I can also do it. So mostly TikTok, I use it because I love dancing. I'm a dancer. So I like seeing what others are doing, you know, working on my strengths and my weaknesses. YouTube, I watch people's lifestyles because I feel, as much as we're talking about the celebrities, they did not just sleep and wake up and boom, they're celebrities.
Yeah.
So they start from a lower level so that they can go high. So, and Instagram, I use it because I feel it has recent information.
Yeah. Oh,
Nairobi
pressure,
gossip.
Instagram. Kwanza, you know, I hear Instagram has a lot of pressure. That is where people post, you know, very posh photos. You will never see these photos on X, because on X, Apple, you have to have decorum. So, uski pressure Instagram?
No, I don't get the pressure because they do what they want. I do what I want. So at some point you'll find maybe I'm not well, but I'm posting that I'm fine. Reason, in my social life, I want people to see that I'm okay, but mentally I'm not. So I don't get any pressure from what people post. No.
Anna, do you think that it's us women who are most affected by this? Because I rarely hear of men who are, you know, feeling that they're pressurized because of social media. Do you think that ni sisi wanawake ndio tunaji-stress ama nini?
I think most of the pressure is on women because women, unlike men, okay, men are just simple. I see them as very simple human beings.
Yeah.
You know, women, sasa, you'll have to pressurize yourself. Kuna physique, body shape, beauty, what people consider to be beauty.
Yeah.
Kuna dressing. Yani, being a woman, there's a lot of pressure, unlike men. But the pressure is on you. If sasa utachange your utaenda BBL, you know, everything is happening because kila mtu anasifu that body figure kwa social media is on you. But the pressure is there. It's just how you will want to work on it.
Yeah. Anal, what do you think? How do you assess this gender dynamic when we're talking how social media is affecting mental health? How are men reacting to this? Because tunasema women are mostly affected. Is it that men don't talk about it? Amani, because women were just vocal, right? So how do you assess that dynamic?
When we are assessing mental health status, we will not just listen to who is talking more. There is behavior sometimes. Just a change of behavior is report enough. There is your perception. How do you maybe take things when somebody just did something that pissed you off? Are you extremely irritable? So we basically don't just look at one domain and say they are more affected. No. It has to be the behavior, the mood, your perception, and even your motor activity. Somebody will just go walk, maybe non-goal oriented movements, and you know, we assess all that. That's why it's quite unfair to just imagine, because that's actually an imagination, that women are more affected. Just because a man didn't speak doesn't mean he's not affected. Yeah.
But in practice, do you see them coming out more, men?
Yeah, they do.
So when they approach you for maybe help, because of course we have therapy and counseling, right? What do they present with? Wanasema shida ni nini?
In my capacity now, mostly as students will come, because KMTC has this whole organization of just looking at the mental health of both students and staff.
Yeah.
So one person's problem might not necessarily be the other person's problem. So it's not generalistic. One would be pushed with the urge of making it so quick.
Yeah.
And it's a man, of course, because at the end of the day, somebody wants to help you spend that money. And you want to satisfy that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other gender.
Yes. So, I mean, you would now try to just be able to talk to them, because we do all those physiological first aid, where the action principles are just, I look at you, I listen to what you're telling me, and then I can link you. Because while I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm just privileged to be trained to be a mental health expert by programs that KMTC does run. But we are under trained people.
Yeah.
And with that, we are now able to link and even guide, because sometimes we can refer, and sometimes it's just a matter of talking to your mindset and be able to motivate you to just see things from a different line. Because I mean, before you came here, did you know that you can ask yourself, when should I stop?
Well, I did.
At least you're mentally okay.
Yeah. So, Pitai, you're a psychology student, and very soon you'll be in the industry, ukituambia hapo if somebody needs help or not. But I'm sure you do also have classmates, male classmates, right?
Sure.
Ukiwaangalia hivi, do you see they're also affected by this social media thing?
Not unless you check on their behavior. That's when you're going to realize whether they're affected or not. But initially, men are born to be so aggressive. Like, they don't talk about their problems. Not like us ladies. You know, when I have a problem, I'll share. But men are just like, you know what? This is a problem and I have to deal with it my own self. So you find it's difficult for you to know if a man is dealing with mental health, not unless you check on their behavior, or else they come and just share it to you.
Speaking of behavior, that's a very interesting point, because now I'm interested to know how behavior is different from, you know, gender to gender, how we behave differently if we are not mentally okay. And also how men behave differently. I know maybe Hannah, you might not be in a position to answer this, but Noel, now that you're in this space where, you know, you do interact with both men and women under that capacity as a trained mental health expert, how does behavior differ from gender to gender?
Now, you would see that most men will try to reduce their interest in activities that they were once interested in. Then they will develop another interest in something that is unhealthy. So just because, and you use energy to love something, and energy is a force.
Yeah.
When that force is, it can't be destroyed, but it can be converted to something else. So then now it's converted to something that is not healthy, that you are not doing. Maybe a man used to spend time watching football, for instance, which is healthy, or going for gym and so forth.
Yeah.
Then now something happened mentally, and they now don't find the pleasure in going to those activities that would excite them. Perhaps they now start maybe drinking or hiding behind the curtain of too much work. So somebody will always be saying too much work. Please check on your colleagues who are always complaining of too much work. If the job description has not changed, there is something. Somebody's just saying too much work to, you know, try and hide from their problems.
Nikitoka hapa na shika wote hapo nje.
They might be going through something, but for ladies, you'll find maybe we just moody and you're like, maybe even throwing tantrums. And most likely, you would try to shikanisha one door to the other and you will see something is wrong. And perhaps yelling will come in. So you'd most likely feel that something is wrong, while men will act a little bit reserved and withdrawn. Women tend to shout more so that, you know, the condition can be, because the urge or the intensity of just being able to withstand differs. And you see, we can't act like men anyway. We are not.
That is very interesting. Ulikuwa unajua hiyo Hannah? How, you know, how behavior differs, that we get emotional and moody and loud when we are depressed. Have you ever been in that state? Because also they say that people who are depressed don't quite know that they're depressed most of the times. Have you ever been in that state where you feel like, hey, hapa nayo, I blew this thing out of proportion?
It's there. It's actually, you don't realize it until mtu anze kukwambia, na siku hizi you get frustrated so quickly. What's happening? So it's true. Okay, as women, it's very like visible. It's very clear. Mtu ataona tu something is off. And I've also been there, of course. No, women, I think we are just meant to express ourselves. Kuficha ni ngumu, unlike men. You can't just stay calm when something is disturbing you. Just have, when you're triggered, italipuka eventually. So yes.
So sisi tunasema inatutoka. We don't bottle up things. Itai, what do you think? You know, I was asking Hannah the same question, that when we're talking about behavioral changes, right, that women, we get moody, we shout, we are loud. Have you ever been in that particular position?
Not really.
And you look so relaxed. When you come out, you're enjoying life. Ujai chapwa na maisha.
Not really, because it begins with self-awareness.
Yeah.
The moment you realize, like when you're so angry, you shout, you do, like you yell so much, you just take composure and relax. For men, they're just quiet. They changed their behavior. If they were used to like going for activities, they no longer, most of the time they're using their phones, looking for that pleasure, at least so that they can feel they're not that anxious, they're not stressed.
That is men.
Men. But ladies, there are two types of ladies. Some will yell, others will just be quiet and just give themselves time to understand the situation, then move on.
What type of woman are you? The yeller or the one who stays quiet?
Depending on the situation.
You can be both. Interesting. Hannah, do you think there's something like a better life when we are looking at social media and how people display things that, you know, they display on these different platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram, even on X? Sometimes you'll find somebody posting something that might trigger you if you're not at the same level of life. And even LinkedIn, you know, if you're not mentally stable, LinkedIn might spiral your mental health. So what do you think about that?
Is there a better life?
Yes, is there a better life? Do you think there's something like a better life?
Yes, it's there. Okay, there's a better life. Okay. How
Ati
do I
sasa
phrase
Anna
it?
anaishi a better life than me. Is there?
Oh no, that is okay. It's not. It's there, but it depends. You know, social media might make you think you are not moving on to you have baby steps unlike the other person. There is that better life, yes, but it's okay. You should see it from your own perspective. You know, you might be looking at someone maybe has wealth, but is always in hospitals or under medication.
Yeah.
So you think she has a better life or he has a better life than you. But maybe you're healthy, but you're not that rich, but you are able to to meet your daily needs. So it's just you see it from your own. Am I improving? Am I making any step? Am I being better? That is. Now there's no better life than the other. You just see your improvement. Yes.
Noel, what do you think? Better life. That's Odida is living a better life than me. Noel is living a better life than me. Is there something like that in the vocabulary of? Let's just talk about mental health, right? In that vocabulary of mental health, better life. Does it make sense?
No, there shouldn't be somebody living a better life than me. There shouldn't be somebody living a better life than you, because there is only one me, there is one you. I mean, our fingerprints are never the same. Never thought of it? So then, we are not meant to be the same anyway. So the best thing is, who is giving you that definition of a better life? Because a better life to me might not necessarily be a better life to another person. And that's why I really insist on the whole point of reconnecting with yourself. When you do that, you'll be able, that's the best point you'll be able now to get your, you know, your deeds or whatever you are supposed to do as a person. Because the one who has the manuscript for your life is the one who brought you here. The much you are able to connect, the better. So then you can now be able to know you're making progress. For somebody else, you might not be making progress. And that's why they shouldn't even compare to you, because you don't know what I want to achieve anyway. Yeah, so when you are able to know why you are here, then do whatever you are supposed to do when you are here. There is nobody who will have a better life than the other, because we came here with every person with his or her own things to do.
Yeah, that took on a different priorities.
Yes,
what
different
do you think,
priorities.
Better life depends with your mentality and your brain and what you think better life is. So to me, no one has better life, because as much as people think that better life is having wealth, you know, living good life, comfort and everything, but maybe in them, they are mentally unstable. So there's no better life. Let me do what I feel I should be doing and make myself comfortable with it. That's my better life. Do what you're doing, you're comfortable with it, you feel it's okay with you, then that's your better life. So it's that different.
Yeah, it's about perspective. Hannah, when are you most active online? Is it when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're making sales, when you're not making sales? When are you most active?
I'm mostly active when I'm upset. Actually, when I'm frustrated.
Yes.
Because I go there and my FYP mostly brings motivation. I think it's like nikiingia TikTok and I'm like very upset.
Yeah.
Mostly FYP yangu inakuanga tu quotes. So ninaendanga hapo mostly nikiwa upset, ndio napata motivation. I also see women who are successful. I'm like, they also failed at a point, so why not? So I get motivated.
What does that say about, you know, someone, Noel, as a mental health expert, that sasa yeye akiwa feel upset, depressed, sort of, social media is a solution and is the answer. Na anapata what she's looking for. Is it a permanent solution, or it just solves the problem at that particular point and then anarudi back to zero? What do you think?
It's a temporary solution. You just feel the, you know, beauty or flair of the moment. But then whatever was bothering you, you will have to sober up, come and fix it. Because this life, we don't do emotions anyway. Yes.
So how do we now solve it? Because sasa kama I'm upset, I need help. Social media, you say it's a temporary solution. Now, what is the permanent solution to my problem?
The permanent solution to mental health issues is, it will first of all begin with you knowing that you have a problem. Because the moment I heard Hannah say, I use social media mostly when I am sad, that's a problem. Because sadness isn't supposed to be the reason why you're doing something, because I don't think that she's on social media to sell sadness. That's like a market. So now it's a market. Sell whatever you are supposed to sell. If you're selling clothes, please, when you go there, whether you are happy or sad, now when you are happy, you will find yourself not selling. So the clients you would have gotten when you're happy, who gets them? That's why it's good to link up with therapists. You know, mental health issues are not supposed to be like outcast things that are not supposed to be spoken about. That's why we love the fact that TV47 has come up with all that, because then the more we speak about it, we normalize mental health. When we do it, then we'll be able to see a healthy generation. Because some of these problems, they go beyond just being mental. Because I might fear about talking about how stressed I am, how much stresses I have, but then now they start affecting how I eat, for instance. They now, when my eating habits are too bad, they now bring in other medical complications. When that happens, then you will keep treating the medical complications, which never heals, because the root cause has never been dealt with. Normalize mental health discussions, seek for mental health enthusiasts. They are there. There are so many peer supporters, there are so many peer groups. Like a place like MTC has an entire, like the entire KMTC fraternity is at least connected to mental health support. Yes.
Just for KMTC, am I for everybody else around all over the country who wants to get help?
And people can actually get help, because at the end of the day, our mandate is just beyond training for the students. We also do consultancy. Yes.
Ana, nataka ujiongelele na ujitete. Now when, for example, now you're on social media because you're upset. Hata mimi sijui when I'm most active online. I just get active when I open my phone. Kwenye nitajipata tu hapo. But for you, do you sober up? Does it give you that temporary joy? Ama you feel fulfilled afterwards?
Actually, it gives me fulfillment afterwards, because you know what you might be dealing with, unaweza, okay, you might be thinking you're the only one dealing with it. So when you go there and see other people have dealt with it, so you get motivation to continue, because people have been there. People have succeeded and they've also been there before. So you get motivation to continue. Actually, I don't say it is as negative. It doesn't give me like the temporary fulfillment. It gives me motivation to continue. Yes, maybe you see, like maybe you can also find a solution to what you are dealing with someone's story. So I'm actually okay with it. So
it depends person to person.
Yes.
Thitai, when are you most active online? When you're sad, or when you're happy?
Not any time. Like when I just open my phone and I'm online.
You're very nonchalant, eh? Do you get that a lot? Noel, there's somebody from the feedback that we read, somebody said that, you know, a lot of people are spending so many hours online. But now looking at, you know, your own assessment, how many hours should we be spending online for it to be safe? You mentioned something about we need to know when to stop. So how many hours should we be online?
Now, with this age of personalized health, then that has to vary from one person.
By personalized health, what do you mean?
I mean, how I'm going to treat you as an individual is supposed to be very different, because, for instance, your job could actually be online. That's where you earn. That's where you're supposed to run the whole activity. I would say that now you need to reduce your working hours. No, because you are doing what you're supposed to do. You are using that media to do what you are meant to do with it. But if your work is not online, it's not like you are fully online. Say maybe I'm a lecturer and 8 to 5 I'm supposed to be lecturing, but then I spend the entire time online. Then it means that my productivity is also compromised. And then even during your free time, Is it that you cannot find or you feel emptiness when you're not online? If you're feeling emptiness, then it means that you need to find yourself first, because you will not find yourself on social media. Whatever you're trying to do, comparing what other people are feeling, nobody is like you. They might be going through something like you, but they are not you. Some kind of trouble we go through, we cannot solve them the same, but at the end we will all win. Yes.
So Anna, do you think social media is the problem? Sababu, we're talking about pressure, yeah? If social media wasn't here, do you think people will still be talking about, you know, us losing ourselves to social media?
Social media is not the problem. The problem is the mindset. How you take it is what will matter. Because even if it was not there, you know, people will still meet people who are successful, still meet people like faking lifestyle. So social media is not really the problem. It's just how you take it.
Tita,
Yes.
do you think social media is the problem?
Not really, because it depends with how you want to take life to be. So if you take life to be like comparable, you compare yourself with others, then it's going to affect you. It's not about social media, because where we live, there are people who are wealthy, others are not. So if you compare yourself, then your mental health is affected. So it's not about social media, but social media has a great impact to mental health, because now that's where everyone is posting every kind of life. So yeah.
But I'm assuming where you live, you're all at the same level. Kama unaishi Runda, nyinyi wote ni wa Runda, mnawezana hapo. Kama nyinyi ni wa Kileleshwa, nyinyi wote ni hapo. Kama ni wa Muthaiga, nyinyi wote ni hapo. I don't know. I don't think where you live somebody can give you pressure. Can you?
It can.
Doll, can it?
It can.
Can you get pressure from your neighbor?
I can't.
Same level. Because now if they can afford rent at that place, then you can afford it equally.
Now, I personally wouldn't get any pressure from anybody. Not because I haven't. I think I've seen faces where I got pressure. But then there are faces where I just invested in knowing myself. And it's okay. If you're driving whatever you're driving today, that's fine. We can be living together, maybe in the same around the same estate.
Yeah.
Our priorities are completely different. You have something I don't have, but it's not even my concern. Because I know who I am. I know what I intend to achieve. It needs to get to a point where you just are full of yourself. Blow your own trumpet. Just have a list of the things you need to do, not as per another person's actions, but as per what gives you satisfaction. You can only know what will give you satisfaction if you reconnect with yourself as much as possible. So that if you want to start a business, you start it. When it fails, you will still have the satisfaction you started. Yeah.
I don't even know my neighbors. I don't know how they look like, what they do. So
Yeah.
that's why I was asking that question of pressure. Let's get some feedback once again from our viewers. And this is Dennis from Kisumu. He says, we are addicted. First thing in the morning, phone. Last thing at night, phone. That alone shows we are losing control. We have, this is Mercy from Kiambu. She says, I've taken breaks from social media and honestly, I feel more at peace. Sometimes disconnecting helps you reconnect with yourself. We do have James from Thika, and he says, it has even affected relationships. Couples don't talk anymore. Everyone is scrolling. We're physically together, but mentally far apart. Some more feedback. Faith from Nyeri says, I don't think we're losing ourselves completely, but we're drifting. If we're not careful, we'll forget who we are without validation from others. That is Faith. All right, thank you so much for being part of this discussion this morning. We're talking about mental health. Are we losing ourselves to social media? What do you think? Keep interacting with us. TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube. Once again on X, TV47 Digital. Our WhatsApp line 0793 267 279. Talk to us. That question of, is social media the problem, Noel? You did not respond to that. But, you know, the times of our parents, they didn't have social media. And right now, our parents are very surprised. Mtu ukiwaambia ati, you know, you're depressed, that, you know, you're going through life, unasikia hizi magonjwa, these mental illnesses that are now here with us. You know, they get so surprised and shocked when you tell them that I'm going through 1, 2, 3. So is it that social media is the problem? Is it just trying to create, you know, platform for people to speak up more about these conditions? What do you think?
Social media is a system. And whatever we are discussing now is exactly what it was meant to bring out. Because at the end of the day, we are looking at creating an emotion. Somebody might not really care about the emotion they will create, but the thing is, did they create something? At the very end, social media will either create a feeling of inadequacy, or it will create a feeling of desire to do better. So whatever I can say, it's a high cost, high benefit product. Those who are suffering because of it are suffering badly. But those who are benefiting from it, they understand the rule of the game. That is where people are. If I can sell attention and make a living out of it, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you think, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And so those who understand the game are reaping out of it. So don't run away from it, but just know how to use it wisely. Yes.
Hannah, how do you use social media now as a tool for progress and not just for distraction?
Okay. I mostly, apart from posting, I use my account for mostly posting the business side now. But I also do it for motivation. Sometimes I post for motivation because I feel like the way I feel like I'm a little bit down, and I go to social media. So I can try to do the same, and when someone finds that video, can also feel a little bit motivated to continue. So I mostly use it with that for growth. And also, I don't know, just for that.
Tichai, what do you think? Social media for progress, how can we now shift it from this self-distracting tool to something that will be, you know, helpful to me in the long term?
First of all, you should limit the time that we use on social media. As much as if you're not working in the media field, then you should not have so much on social media. Work on your hobbies.
So me, I can be on social media.
Work on, if it benefits you, then do it.
If you're not in the media industry.
No, if it benefits you, do it. But if it's just for pleasure, work on your hobbies, work on your weaknesses to motivate yourself. Because personally, I use it to just motivate myself, my talents, and also studying.
Finally, Noel, how can we now make this tool a tool for progress?
Okay. Number one is we can use social media to be able to know maybe your center of interest. Sometimes you might not understand how good you are in something unless you are able, until you get to meet people. Not really physically, because sometimes you may not be able to do that, but until you now get to meet people who are doing that, what you're doing. But then once you get a desire, don't feel inadequate. You just want to get a desire, you get a starting point. The moment you get that starting point, then go back to your private space. You want to build something. We want to use social media to build something. And therefore, for us to build something, then we need to be able to now confine and do our whole construction. Then that is possible to be done. At the very end, then we must make sure that once our construction of whatever idea we were doing is done, then we can now get back to that social media and be able to use it as per what we have built. Use it like it's a job and there is a job description. Don't do it emotionally. Make sure that you are doing it logically as per what you intend it to achieve for you. For me, if I'm looking at building a community that is nutritionally sensitive with the whole idea of taking care of their you know, 3 major parameters: how many times they're eating, what are you eating, and when are you eating. Then I need to stick to that and invest my time in such things. If there are other things that are not going to benefit my cause, then I should be able to sieve them out, so that at the very end, social media amplifies who I am, rather than depleting who I am because I am now no longer able to function simply because my daily activities can't be done. Yes.
Are therapies working?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are not going for therapy. And the question is, sometimes people wonder if what they're coming there for, because they're coming for help. If they get help at the end of the day, the people who stop therapy halfway, then what is the reason? Mbona nikuje therapy and then niachie halfway?
The reason is, it shouldn't be coming from another person. You are the one, at least, who is supposed to, you know, be able to understand that I need this help. We need to create that need. We are not selling the therapy services. That's a product. We want to sell that need so that you can see the need. So the moment we are unable to sell the need, we only sell the service. You will not be able to see where you should come for the therapy tomorrow and after tomorrow until the very end, and perhaps develop that habit for life. So it's you know, it's just a product like any other. What are you selling? You know, nobody will buy just because I have a service or a product. People need to understand where they need to buy. And that's where we should direct our efforts. When we are able to direct our efforts that way, I believe we will see better mental health, and a number of people coming, more of them coming and benefiting, and generally a productive country.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies, once again for making time for us to have this conversation on mental health. The question we are asking on social media is, are we losing ourselves to social media? That is Hannah Wanjiku. She's a businesswoman. And of course, Nancy Noel, a lecturer at KMTC, and of course, a trained mental health expert, and Thitai Rosemary, a psychology student. I was trying to load what else you do. But she's also an influencer on social media. So we encourage you to continue this conversation online, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube, or next at TV47 Digital. Be sure to tag me at @Ann_Dida. Don't go too far, because Fred is coming back with a conversation on Men Talk. Do stay right here. Good morning. My name is Ann Odida. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.